Imagine an early human who could snap your bones like twigs. This wasn't a monster. This was your ancestor. Deep in the shadows of prehistoric Africa, a creature unlike any other stalked the savanna. It walked on two legs, like us. It had hands that could craft tools like us. But its body was a machine of pure brute force. We call this ancestor Paranthropus, boisei. But Ancestor doesn't quite capture the raw power it possessed. Let's paint a picture. The sun beats down on the dry grasslands. A lioness, patient and coiled, watches a herd of wildebeest. But she's not the apex predator here, not today. From the thicket emerges a figure, shorter than a modern human, but twice as wide. Its shoulders are impossibly broad, its arms thick with corded muscle. This is Paranthropus. It isn't hunting the wildebeest. It's walking straight towards the lioness's recent kill, a half-eaten zebra. The lioness growls, a warning that would send any other creature fleeing. But Paranthropus doesn't even flinch. It simply continues its approach, its sheer presence a challenge. The lioness, confused and intimidated by this bizarre, powerful ape, backs away. Paranthropus reaches the carcass and with one hand rips a leg clean off the bone. The sound of snapping sinew echoes in the sudden silence. This is the world Paranthropus dominated, not with spears, not with fire, but with a physical strength that bordered on the supernatural. So what made this ancient relative so incredibly strong? The answer is written all over its skeleton. When paleoanthropologists first discovered the skull of Paranthropus boisei, they were stunned. They nicknamed it Nutcracker Man because of its massive jaw and enormous molars, teeth 4 times the size of our own. The top of its skull featured a prominent ridge of bone, called a sagittal crest. This wasn't just for show. It was the anchor point for gigantic chewing muscles, the most powerful of any primate that has ever lived. These muscles gave Paranthropus a bite force that could crush the hardest nuts, seeds, and roots on the savanna. Think of it like this. A modern human-s bite force is around 160 pounds per square inch. A lion's is about 650. Scientists estimate Paranthropus's bite could have easily surpassed that, allowing it to process foods that no other hominin could touch. It didn't need to cook or tenderize its food. Its jaws did all the work. Its diet was tough, fibrous plant matter, things that would be completely inedible to us. It was a walking food processor built to survive on the harshest of diets. But the power wasn't just in its jaw. The rest of its skeleton tells a similar story. Its chest was a massive barrel shape, housing a powerful respiratory system. Its bones were incredibly thick and robust, far denser than ours. This is a clear indicator of a body built to support a tremendous amount of muscle mass. Its arms were long and strong, and its hands, while capable of fine manipulation, were also built for power gripping. They could have stripped bark from trees or dug up tough tubers with ease. Imagine a wrestling match between a modern, peak-conditioned human athlete and a Paranthropus. It wouldn't be a contest. The sheer density of its bones and the size of its muscle attachments suggest a level of pound-for-pound strength that we can barely comprehend. It was a creature perfectly adapted to a physically demanding world, a bipedal tank that powered its way through life. For nearly 1.5 million years, this strategy worked. Paranthropus thrived across Africa, outlasting many other hominin species. They were a staggering success story. Now, here's the twist. For decades, we pictured Paranthropus as this slow-moving, peaceful vegan, a gentle giant of the savanna, just munching on roots all day. We assumed its powerful build was purely for processing tough plants. We thought its strength was defensive, not offensive. The latest evidence is starting to paint a very, very different picture. What if that incredible strength wasn't just for chewing? What if it was also for fighting? And not just for fending off predators like leopards and lions, but for fighting each other. In species where males compete fiercely for mates, you often see extreme physical differences between males and females. Think of the massive size difference between a male and female gorilla. Paranthropus shows this same pattern. The males were significantly larger and more robust than the females. That sagittal crest, that massive jaw, those broad shoulders, those were likely features of the males, weapons and armor for brutal contests over dominance and mating rights. The peaceful vegan image shatters. Instead, we see a society where colossal males may have engaged in violent, physical showdowns. Their immense strength wasn't just for cracking nuts, It was for crushing rivals. Their powerful arms weren't just for digging. They were for grappling and overpowering competitors. They were less like gentle herbivores and more like prehistoric brawlers, their lives punctuated by moments of intense raw violence. This changes everything about how we see them. They weren't just a quirky side branch of our family tree. They were a powerful, dominant force ruled by a brutal social structure. So what happened to them? Why did this super-strong human ancestor, who dominated the landscape for over 1,000,000 years, suddenly vanish? The answer is a lesson in the limits of strength. Paranthropus was a specialist. Its entire body, its entire existence, was built around one thing: processing tough, low-quality food. Superstrength was tied to a super-specialized diet. Then, the world changed. The climate of Africa became more variable, more unpredictable. The specific plants that Paranthropus relied on may have become scarcer. While our own direct ancestors, the early members of the genus Homo, were generalists with smaller brains but more adaptable tool use, Paranthropus was locked into its path. Its greatest strength became its greatest weakness. Our ancestors were weaker, smaller, and had less powerful jaws, but they were smarter and more versatile. They could hunt animals, scavenge more effectively, and use tools to process a wider variety of foods. When the environment changed, they adapted. Paranthropus, the titan of the savanna, could not. Its massive muscles required a huge caloric intake, and when its primary food source dwindled, its powerful body became an engine it could no longer fuel. The last of them died out around 1,000,000 years ago, their incredible strength not enough to save them from the slow, creeping threat of starvation. They were a testament to the fact that in the long game of evolution, brute force isn't always the winning ticket. Adaptability is. The legacy of Paranthropus is a chilling reminder. It's a ghost in our own DNA, a story of a different path humanity could have taken, a path of muscle over mind, of power over plasticity. They were strong, stronger than we can imagine, but they were too strong, too specialized for their own good. They stand as a powerful, silent monument to an evolutionary dead end. And if you think a human ancestor with the power to crush bones was terrifying, wait until you meet the ancient predators that hunted them.